Powerful messages from people in Sacramento, California. Obviously, we're seeing protests pop up around the country, but California making some pretty strong statements there. We're going to bring in California GOP Congressman Devin Nunes now. Congressman, welcome to the show. What is your reaction to hearing some of those comments from the protesters in California?
Well, look, I think it's going to get a lot worse because the governor that we have here is picking winners and losers on a daily basis. We've been talking about this for several weeks now, where some beaches are open, other beaches are not. And I'll tell you what happened yesterday is I went to Costco, which I like to do. The lines were longer than I've seen lines at Disneyland. I stood in the line for 30 minutes to get my food. There were hundreds and hundreds of my fellow Californians there. And I'm all for Costco being open. When I finally got to the checkout counter, I had picked up some lamb and chicken, but then I was told I could only buy 3 packages. So I sent the chicken back, stood with the lamb. But, you know, not that the viewers want to know what I had for dinner last night, but I just think this is ludicrous. So the governor now is treating different counties that have voted to say, hey, we're going to open up, they're being punished. I talked to a couple of our local city council and elected officials yesterday, and they told me that they're being intimidated by the governor and his staff. Now, to me, that's extortion. You can't use federal and state tax dollars where you disagree with someone's policies or politics and punish them. And remember, this is when neighboring counties are wide open. The restaurants are open. So this is it's getting worse and worse and worse. And I think it's very, very frustrating for a lot of folks here in California.
Well, Congressman, talk about frustrating. We want to bring in Ryan Driscoll, a performer on the cruise ship Seabourn Odyssey. Ryan, good morning to you. I understand you were stuck on that ship for some 80 days during the pandemic. Is that correct?
That's correct. It was a crazy time.
And Congressman Nunes helped bring you home. Explain.
Yes, I'm very thankful to Congressman Nunes and his office. They all helped me get home quicker and safer. They were putting pressure on the local Bridgetown and Barbados government and working with the U.S. State Department as well as the U.S. Embassy in Bridgetown to arrange a charter flight to bring back American citizens. And I was one of those lucky Americans that got to come home on that flight.
What would it have been like if you had not had a congressman able to weigh in for you? Thankfully, the congressman took special interest in the case, but could you otherwise still be stuck?
I think without Congressman Nunes and his amazing staff in California, I would not be here right now. In sunny San Diego, I would still be stuck on that ship, like many of my friends are still stuck on ships around the world. So very thankful to be back.
Congressman, what has it meant for you to be able to help bring Ryan home?
Well, you know, it's one of the really only good parts left about this job is, you know, a lot of times we're the last line when people get to us. We're their last hope. And we've had a lot of people in Ryan's case. All the members of Congress all over the country have had similar situations. But Ryan's was particularly important because it took so long. And I'm actually thankful that he did get back, and I wish he would have got back a lot sooner to be with his family back here in California. But we still have some people still overseas, trapped overseas, who can't get home. So we're still working on those cases.
Speaking of cases, I know this is not related to the cruise ship, but any updates on the investigations going on in Washington as far as what happened to the Trump campaign?
Well, if you're looking at what Judge Sullivan is doing, I think this is really out of left field. I heard you talking to Doug Collins from Georgia earlier in the program. This is a very odd case. I think most Americans sit there and look and say, wait a second, isn't this a federal judge, been on the bench for a really long time? Why would he possibly need a lawyer? He has to understand the law. He should be able to respond to his fellow judges that are evaluating this case. Yeah. It's really unprecedented to see someone take it upon themselves to be the judge, jury, and prosecution, being that the Justice Department has dropped the charges. So we're continuing to monitor. And one of the things we're working on is looking at the Mueller investigation and everything surrounding the Mueller investigation, because we are looking to make criminal referrals based on what occurred during the Mueller prosecutions.
Got it. Well, Ryan, we're glad you're back. Enjoy sunny San Diego. Hopefully you can go to the beach eventually. And Congressman, we love what you have to say. I would have skipped the lamb and gone with the chicken, though. I disagree with that.
Well, some lucky family got those chickens, not me.
Good
All
point.
right.
Thanks,
Thank you, sir.
Congressman.
Appreciate it. Thank you both.